Have you ever had a client tell you that they're not going to pay you until they get paid by their client? Oh, yeah, this happens more often than I'd like to admit. Here's my question though. Since when did freelancers become financial lending institutions? Right? We have all people with the no guaranteed paychecks, the episodic income. We need to watch our cash flow. So why is it that some clients seem to think that they can make that declaration, that they're not going to get paid when they get paid by their client? I'm always so curious about this when this happens. Like, is that what they tell their credit card company when that bill comes due, or the utility company when that bill comes due? Oh no, we haven't been paid by our client yet, so we're not going to pay you. No, of course not. So why do they seem to think that they can get away with it with us vendors? Let me tell you something. Just because you are self-employed does not mean you should be treated any differently, unfairly, or with disrespect by these companies. Okay, you get to dictate when your invoices are due, not the client. And if they're not willing to adhere to your policies, then it's totally okay to walk away and find somebody else who is. Okay. Hi, I'm Julie Cortez, copywriter by day, freelance rock star by night. I have run my own freelancing business for 22 years now, and about 5 years into my career, I noticed a void for freelancers, and a void in education, community, and even respect. And so I kind of made it my personal life mission, if you will, to rectify that. In 2003, I created a not-for-profit professional trade organization called the Freelance Exchange of Kansas City. In this, we offer continuing education, networking, promotional, social, all sorts of opportunities for those who are self-employed in advertising and marketing. And by default, we've kind of become the go-to resource in town for ad agencies and corporations and small businesses to find the talent that they need. It's a free and easy resource that we offer to the community. And I've been doing that for about 17 years now, helping lead that organization. And about 5 years ago, it finally dawned on me that a lot of this stuff needs to be taught in school. And so I created my own Freelancing 101 class, and I teach as an adjunct professor at the world-renowned Kansas City Art Institute. I love getting into the classroom and giving back to these young artists and helping them learn how to run their own businesses. And after doing that for a little while, I was realizing that so many of my professional peers were like, Julie, that class sounds amazing. I would love to take your class. And I was like, oh, Cortez, light bulb moment. So I opened up a coaching arm to my business. And now I offer those same lessons, skills, and tips and tricks to my fellow freelancers in the industry, helping those who are just starting out, as well as those who may need a kickstart along the way. And of course, now I'm a public speaker too. So it's kind of amazing the twists and turns that my career has taken. But I have learned so much over the past 20 plus years, and I want to share what I've learned with you here today. So when it comes to freelancing, we often go in blind, not knowing what to expect, not being prepared for what's to come. And that in turn can leave us lacking in the confidence department, unfortunately. But think about it. When you went to school, did you take business classes? Were you trained how to run a freelance business? Were you trained on legal and accounting issues, how to promote yourself, how to deal with a difficult client? For so many of us, the answer is no. We were trained on how to do our craft and how to do it well, but that's it. We didn't take business classes. Either they weren't required or we didn't think that we would ever need them. And then lo and behold, whether by choice or by default, we're out on our own, not knowing exactly what to do. And that doesn't help because we don't have now the tools to succeed. And when you don't have the right tools to succeed, you don't have the confidence to succeed. So what's the solution? I'm here to tell you. It's training. It's training. The more educated you are and everybody else around you is, the better off you'll be. The better off we will all be collectively as freelancers throughout the world. So today, we're going to talk about 3 different types of training. How to train yourself, how to train your clients, and something that most people don't think about, but how to train your family and friends. Trust me, it's very important. Okay, so number 1, let's talk about how to train yourself. You have to start here. You have to start with yourself, because if you don't know the rules, you can't hold anybody else to them, right? So you have to start by training yourself. And when I say that, number one, I mean arm yourself with knowledge. Figure out what you don't know and go learn it. It's as simple as that. Whether it's legal issues, taxes, software, insurance, social media, self-promotion, you name it, there are plenty of resources out there to help you get up to speed. There are conferences and summits, and there are webinars you can attend, right? You can be members of an organization, you can read blogs, you can read books, you can even get coaching. Arm yourself with knowledge so you are prepared for anything that may come your way when it comes to your freelance business. Okay, number two, be proactive. Put systems in place, establish policies and procedures for your business. For example, will you use a contract with all new clients? Let me rephrase that. You will use a contract for all new clients. It is so, so important. And why you want to have this is so it will protect both parties, but mainly you. This is why you provide the contract, right? But should anything go wrong, and you know, we don't ever expect anything to go wrong. We always hope nothing's going to go wrong, but 22 years of doing this, inevitably something may very well go wrong. Okay. So this is to protect you in case that should happen. For example, what happens if a client doesn't pay? Maybe they come back to you and they say, oh, we've chosen not to use your work and therefore we're not going to pay our bill. No, that's not the way it works. Clients pay you for your time, your talents, your skills, your expertise. They don't pay you for a final end all be all product. In my industry anyway, in advertising and marketing, and your experience may vary. However, for the most part, they are paying for our services. We are service providers, not necessarily product providers. Okay. So you put this policy in place that you will have all new clients or all large projects, all of those get a contract. So even if there's a dispute later on down the road and the client isn't paying, so what do? Well, now you have it all in writing. All right. Should anything get turned over to collections, you have to go to a small claims court or what have you. It's all lined out there in the contract for you. All right. If they are 30 days past due, you are legally entitled to charge a late fee. Yes, you are. Now, it may not be very much. From what I understand, in the United States here, it's only 1.5% every 30 days, up to 18% for the year. Okay. It's not a lot, but it's the principle. All right. I always like to tell my clients, hey, you don't like my late fees? Don't be late. Simple, problem solved, right? Okay. But when it comes to contracts, one of the biggest bonuses behind that, but you might not be thinking of, is that it helps make you appear more professional, more business-like. It lets clients know that you're serious about your business. As freelancers for the longest time got the worst rap here, oh, you're freelancing, right? That means you can't find a job. Well, maybe for some people, but for most of us, we are serious career freelancers. Like, this is what we want to be doing. We want to make it on our own, right? We want to be serious business owners. So, let's get rid of that stigma. Let's get rid of that negative connotation and treat our businesses like a business and not like a hobby. Okay. All right. So next, number 3, in training yourself, you need to implement mindset tricks to get ahead. Now, I love psychology. I was just talking to my nephew about this the other day because he's now starting to take psychology classes in college. Oh my gosh, there's so much that goes into play, and it's amazing how you can kind of trick yourself into being the best possible, most productive person that you can be when it comes to running your business. Here are a couple of little tricks that will help you throughout the day. For example, when you first get up in the morning, what do I want you to do? Now, if you heard me speak before, you probably know this one, but it's make your bed. Make your bed. Why would I say something as simple as that? Just simply, pulling up the covers for the day. Well, one, you've already accomplished something, right? And you can check that off your list. That's awesome. Good job. All right. But two, you will be less likely to crawl back into that bed later. I know, mind blowing, right? Try it and see if it works. All right. Number two, okay, so you get up, you make your bed, you brush your teeth, you go do whatever your morning routine is. Does that mean you go work out? Does it you take the dog for a walk, you read, you meditate, you do yoga, whatever you do. All right. And then you decide, okay, it's time to go to work. But wait. Before you go to work, go get dressed. Go take a shower, wipe that sleep from your eyes. And then don't just put back on comfy clothes, put on work clothes. Now, I know many of you are going like, Cortez, you're nuts. Why would I do that? I'm not leaving my house today. I'm not seeing anybody today. And I'm going to be like, because there's a method to my madness. All right. Put on work clothes because it puts you in a working mindset. All right. I guarantee that you will be much more productive if and when you put on work clothes for the day. And I'm not saying just your clothes. I mean, if you're the type of person like me who, spends a little bit of time on their hair and their makeup, do that too. It all goes into your mindset and it's all going to help you in the end. And as a bonus, if anybody should happen to call you and want you to, rush down and meet them within like half an hour, or maybe they want to hop on a Zoom call in half an hour, whatever, you're going to be ready. You're going to be ready. No more of this hiding. No, I'm hideous. Don't look at me. I'm going to turn off my camera. No excuses. Get that work done. Be ready, be prepared, and be successful. Okay. So you've done all of this. You're ready for the day, but let's take a step back. Think about when you work. Is it willy-nilly, or do you have office hours set for yourself? Set office hours, y'all. I don't care what they are. I don't care if it's 8 to 5, noon to 6, maybe you only, can do it from 12 to 3, and you're a part-time freelancer. I don't care. Set office hours. Okay. Train yourself. And then be in your office, work on your business or in your business during those office hours, day in and day out. Be intentional with your time. Even if there's no paid work to do. Well, Julie, there's no paid work to do. I can go watch a movie. I can go play Nintendo. I can go do this. I can do that. Yes, you can, but should you? Not if you want to get ahead, right? So be intentional with your time. There is always stuff to be done, even if you don't have paid work going on right now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all, I tell you, because you can always be out there doing self-promotion, right? You could be doing new business development. You could be doing continuing education. You could be cleaning your office. You could be filing things away. It doesn't matter. There's always time. There's always something to be done to better yourself and better your business. All right. Create a routine, set a schedule, and get on with your badass self. Okay. So now you've got yourself trained. Next up is you've got to train your clients. First things first, you get to dictate how your business operates, not them. Remember this. Let me say that again. You get to dictate how your business operates, not your clients. That means you get to determine things like how you charge, your rates. Do you charge hourly, by the project, by the day? Are you on retainer? Whatever the case may be. That's up to you to decide. You get to decide on fees. Does your business implement late fees or rush fees or kill fees? And if you don't know what those are, ask me later, right? What about payment terms? That's up to you. Do you expect payment within 15 days, 30 days, 45 days, whatever the case may be? That's up to you. And then also your office hours. When will you work? When will you be available to take phone calls, to have meetings? Is it, standard business hours between 8 and 5, Monday through Friday? Are you limited? Are you a part-time freelancer and you can only meet after work in the evenings? Let your clients know. Okay. Communicate these things early on, whether it's verbally in an email, maybe it's in your estimate or proposal or in your contract. Just make sure you get these things across to your clients or have it readily available on your, maybe it's on your website, right? I've seen that before. Sometimes people have a, how we work section or an FAQ section kind of thing. Totally okay to have that. But share your office hours so they know when they can call you or when to expect a response. Like if they call you at 6 o'clock, on Friday evening, they shouldn't expect a response until Monday morning, right? Because that's when your business hours are. And that's totally okay, right? Just make sure you communicate with them. And if they do demand that you work with them during your personal times, then it is well within your right, it is well within industry standards to charge rush fees. What are rush fees? Well, rush fees are whether it's time and a half or double your regular rate. Okay, that's up for you to decide what that is. But you get to decide if you're going to charge rush fees, and if so, what they are and in what capacity. Something else you want to make sure to communicate with your clients is any intellectual property details, especially if you work in the visual art space. Let them know what the rights are, the usages, or compensation is when it comes to intellectual property. Get all of these IP things in writing in your contract. And last but not least, don't let them take advantage. Many clients will try, unfortunately. So set those boundaries, train your clients, define clear expectations, stand your ground. Just because you're self-employed doesn't mean they get to dictate the rules. Okay, remember that. Let me say it again. Just because you're self-employed doesn't mean that they get to dictate the rules. Okay, so now you've got yourself trained, you've got your clients trained. Hey, all right, next up is your family and friends. What's that old adage of, you've got to train people how you want to be treated? This is so true, both in your personal life and in your work life. All right, but let's start on the personal side of things. Like, for example, remember those office hours that you set? Hold them sacred. All right, so if like your mom or friend or whomever wants to call and just chit chat with you in the middle of the day, don't answer the phone. Ask them to respect the fact that you're working, and if you can call them after hours, or maybe you want to talk before hours or during the lunch hour, whatever the case may be. But I always laugh, like, I don't know about you, but my mom, God love her, she just wants to call and chit chat all the time. And it's never about anything really important. And she'll just go on and on and on for like 45 minutes. And I'm like, Mom, I'm working. And she doesn't seem to understand. I finally asked her, I'm like, if I had a real job, at an ad agency or something where I worked 40 hours a week on site, like, would you still be calling me and doing the same thing? Oh, probably not. Hello. Right? So get this message across to them. Yes, you love them. Yes, you want to talk to them, but not right now. Unless it's super important or it's an emergency, right? What constitutes an emergency? Well, maybe there's a health crisis or something. Not if there's a sale on produce at the grocery store, right? Okay, hold your office hours sacred. That goes true as well. That holds true as well for even social outings. How many times have I had a friend, text me in the middle of the day, oh, Julie, it's gorgeous outside. We need to go find a sunny patio and have some margaritas. Yeah, that sounds amazing. Should I go do that? Not if I want to get ahead. Here's what I suggest instead. Yes, that sounds awesome. I would love to join you. Can we meet after 5? This person wanted to meet at 4 or 3 or whatever. Now, I'm not saying you have to do this all the time, because that, of course, is one of the many joys of freelancing, is freedom to do what you want, when you want, how you want, whatever. We have that freedom to work whenever we want. Awesome. However, don't make it a habit. If you go do this once in a blue moon, I don't care. That's fine. Go on with your big bad self, have a margarita. That sounds awesome. However, don't get in the habit of doing it all the time, especially with the same person, because that's just training them that that's okay, right? So establish those boundaries. Yes, I would love to join you. Let's make it after 5. All right. So do this and start training your friends and family that you're serious about your business and you want to get ahead. And in order to do so, you need to be working those office hours. Think about that too. When people just, send you non-urgent texts or they ping you on social media, does it have to be addressed right now? No. And those things are such distractions, right? They're such distractions. And I don't know about you, but it takes me a good 15 minutes to get back in the zone so I can focus and get back to what I'm doing and be productive there. So Keep in mind too, and it's not even just the communications or the social outings, it's the things at home. Maybe you live with a spouse or a partner or a roommate and they have expectations of you. Oh, you work from home, therefore you have all the time in the world to do the chores, the cooking, the cleaning, the laundry, the grocery shopping, whatever. Do you have time? Yes. Should you be doing it? No. All right. If you want to get ahead, hold those office hours sacred. Say, honey, I love you, or whomever it is. I respect you, and I will be happy to do those things after hours. Right now, I need to focus on my business. Correct. There is not paid work coming in the door right now, but I have things to do. I have this webinar to watch, this book to read, this thing to do for social media, blah, 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 right? The list goes on. You have things to do. Make sure you have the time to do them. All right. So establish those boundaries and stick to them. Get comfortable to say no. It's okay to say no. I'm giving you permission. If you need permission, I'm giving you permission to say no. Believe it or not, the more that you stand up for yourself, the more respect you'll earn. It's kind of funny how that happens. Let me say that again. The more you stand up for yourself, the more respect you'll earn. Okay, so if you've liked everything you've heard today, and if you want a reminder of this and more, simply go to my website. I've got a freebie just for you. Go to my website, juliecortez.com. It's Cortez with an S at the end. Scroll to the bottom, fill out that quick little form, and instantly you can get a free PDF download of 7 steps to rock your solo biz. In it, you will find what we covered today, how to train yourself, train your clients, train your family and friends, and 4 other bonuses just for you on how to rock your solo business. This is all geared to help you continue to learn how to be badass. Yes, be badass. The training is so important, and it all begins with you. Figure out what it is that you don't know and go learn it. Arm yourself with knowledge, know your rights, set your policies, create your boundaries. Don't let companies treat you any differently than any other vendor company. Don't let your friends and family distract you from achieving your dreams. Hold your ground and get ahead with your newfound freelance confidence. If there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. Feel free to reach out on my website at juliecortez.com, or you can find me on all the social medias at Casey Copy Diva. Thank you so much for listening today. I really enjoyed talking with you, and I look forward to seeing you out in the freelance world.